Hi, my name is Cassidy and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hello, welcome. If you are looking to escape the real world and all that bullshit, come hang out with me for a minute. We're gonna escape the real world together. Today we are going to talk about 8 books / series that I have read and that really was just regrettably not a good story, didn't leave an impact on me. I don't want to say like wasted my time because I am glad I gave it a shot. And if it is not my story, that is fine. It's just my opinion and my experience with the story or the book or the series. And if it is something that you love that for you. And it is not personal. This is clearly my opinion. This is no hate to any authors or anything as a whole. This is clearly on just the book in the series that I have read that I'm basing my opinion on. And again, if you have a differing opinion, totally fine. Love that for you. We are not going to attack each other about this because this is not coming at you or any way, shape, or form, or the author as well, or their friends. This is just something that I feel like there's been a few as of late or the last couple of years where I was like, I really just did not love it. When I was doing some research, so since I got rid of a lot of the physical books that I just did not like vibe with, I kind of can't remember what some of them are, but I went through my ebook in my Kindle and took a look. I am not one that typically reads ebooks. I prefer like the hard physical copy. However, ebooks are great ways. I usually will use those to read samples of a story that I'm interested in, but I'm not sure if I want to like actually go for it. So I luckily still have that library and was able to find a couple gems that I totally forgot about. And one in particular that I've must have blocked out in my brain because when I saw it again, I just instantly just started raging again. I will say that one felt like it wasted my time. So that is on this list and we will definitely talk about it when we get to it. In no particular order for these are just as they came to my brain. The first one is Academy for Liars. And this one I do have a physical copy because is one of my more recent reads by Alexis Henderson, Academy for Liars. This story it had like a lot of premise when I read like the synopsis of it. It gave me a lot of intrigue because it's a dark academia style book. It takes place in a magical school setting. It is about this girl who she kind of always had something different about her. She never really understood what was going on. She ends up finding this school or the school finds her. And it becomes like this whole ordeal where she ends up being in a position where she needs to save the school. I will say, again, like it got me in the first few pages where I was really into it. I was devouring it. And it really is an easy read. Like it wasn't anything where I'm like, oh God, I don't even know what I just read on that page. I have to reread it. I never got that impression. I was able to read it really quickly. However, all throughout the middle section, I felt like I just completely was just confused. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know really where this was going. It was a lot of, I feel like, relationship building in the middle. And I remember thinking like as I got towards the end, I was like, oh, are we going to wrap this up? Is this going to be a cliffhanger? Because I was like, I swear this is a standalone because I was using it as a palette cleanser. And it wrapped up really quickly, but I did feel very confused about a lot of things and a lot of aspects about this world and just kind of the overall, like what was really going on. It's one where I closed the book and I loved like the last chapter of the book and how that really wrapped up something. Again, when I closed the book, I was like, okay, now what? Again, didn't really feel like there was a lot of substance to it, but the whole idea was just really fascinating. A lot of confusion in the middle and a lot of feeling like I wasn't getting anywhere with the story. It was just a lot of like, they're running from the school and now they're in this town. Now they're back at the school. Now they're in a different town. So I will say my next one is Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. That one was one where I saw a lot of hype around it when it first dropped. I don't know, maybe it was last year. I don't know, fairly recent. Where there was so much hype around it, and it was like, yeah, it's a ghost story. It's got like a moving magic house or haunted house setting, and it was also like a games for survival type situation. And that the MMC is resemblance to Danny Phantom. So I was like, oh, I am in. And it just seemed like everyone was like raving about it. So I went ahead and got it and I read it. And I will say I finished the book, but I will not be continuing this to the duology or like the next book. I think it was like Enchantress or something, and it's about his sister's point of view and just story, and I really just was not interested, which really bums me out. I don't remember exactly what key part of it. Like, I remember a lot of the trials in the book were really interesting, and I was like pretty intrigued by them. I think I just kind of started to lose it where the main character just became really obsessed with the ghost, and I just feel like we kind of were losing the plot, and like, yeah, we were here to like rescue him or whatever, get him unbound from this house and stuff, and I just feel like maybe the stakes weren't really that high. I didn't really have any doubts where I was like, this is not going to be solved. There wasn't really like a super low point in the story where I was like, ooh, actually, like the author might hurt my feelings and might end this in like a really tragic way. That didn't happen. Unfortunately, Phantasma was one that I read through it really fast. Like, it was a really, in the moment I was into it, but I just feel like as a whole it really wasn't that interesting, and that really bums me out. But will not be continuing that series. The next one is Anathema by Carrie Lake. This one, I am so sad to have this on this list, but to be completely honest, I really wanted to like this one. Like, the whole idea of it, you know, being a witch and just like a lot of dark fantasy type vibes and like more magic and everything, it just had me super intrigued, and there again was a lot of hype around this one, and when I read it I just felt like the story got lost, where the author was just throwing in random shit in there, where it was just like to be like a, not a jump scare, but just like a whoa, what? Like, just to kind of like grab your attention again. And there were a few instances, and I won't say them like on YouTube because I don't know what the guidelines are, but I'm sure that one will not be flying. And I just remember sitting there and I was like, okay, that was weird. And it was with the morgue or the crypt keeper type guy, that whole instance. So if you know what I'm talking about, the one where she eavesdrops, that's the whole scene where I was like, oh, that's crazy. And then I thought we were going to kind of come back to that full story, or like that, like wrap that up. And I got to the end of the book and I was like, oh, that was it. Okay. All right. So we just like threw that detail in there, but really there was like nothing else to it other than just being like a attention grabbing bit. Like, there was no substance to it. And I felt like there was many times throughout this book that I was like, why? And it really honestly lost me. And I don't know if this is a Carrie Lake kind of thing. Like, I can't remember if I read any of her other books. I don't think I have. I think I've watched like book reviews on some of her books. Like, I don't know, like, I really wanted to like this one, but unfortunately it was when it really just, and maybe it's just one of the factors of why I didn't really enjoy this, because it might be one of the tropes that I'm really not interested in, where I just felt like the second that MMC saw her when she was sleeping, like, it just kept mentioning how his buddy would just always rise to the occasion, so to speak. I feel like every time I read from his point of view, I was like, bro, we are not getting anywhere with this story. It's just like talking about how in love he is with this FMC. And that really just kind of started to bother me. And I just feel like we were losing the plot. And like, I couldn't even tell you what the whole storyline is. I just really like, I felt like as soon as they actually connected and like met up, like it was all about them. And I was just like, okay. And like staying at the castle for a while and all of these things. Like, I don't know. There were so many aspects of it that I would typically like, but I think it was just in the way that this book was like layout. It just did not hit. And I don't know if it was just because, again, there were a lot of details thrown in there where I just feel like that was just kind of like a attention grabbing and like nothing else to it. And I am always looking for a book that basically hurts my feelings.
It hurt my feelings. Like, it made me cry.
It makes me feel something, and it just makes me so involved in the world, and just all those details matter. And it's like you may not realize those are key details that are going to come up later in the book, other than when maybe like afterwards when it wraps it up, or when you reread it for a second time. Like maybe there's information you missed and you're like, oh my god, the breadcrumbs go all the way back to like chapter 1 or like the beginning of the book, and it was so prevalent throughout the story, and it's just so good. Like I just didn't feel like this was the case, and I really wanted to like Anathema. I will not be continuing the series, which really bums me out, because I read this because the second book was coming out like pretty much the same time I started to read this, because I am one to really try and wait till the whole series comes out or read like standalones. But there have been a few times where I started something and not realizing it was a series that was not fully released, and so that always sucks when that happens. But yes, I would say that is one of those books. Unfortunately, it made my list, and so I don't know why I still have it, to be honest. I think I might like try and reread it again at some point and see if my mind changes, because you know, opinions can change, and maybe it was a timing thing where I just really wasn't ready for this type of story. Who knows? The next one on the list is called A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair. Now, I have heard great things about this author and her series and her different books, and I was really hyped because it sounds like something I could be interested in. This one is about, it's a Hades retelling with Persephone, and I'm not, don't come for me, but I don't think I'm one for retelling of certain stories. Like, I think I'd rather just stick to the original, but like, I know retelling of fairy tales and different stories, like the retellings, are something that is always usually goes pretty hard with the crowd. And I just feel like maybe I haven't read the right ones, but I just can't seem to get into it. Like for some reason, it just not working for me on retellings. So I really kind of stray away from those for the most part. Like I've seen hypes for them, but this was one of them where I did finish the book. I didn't DNF it. Apparently it is 7 books in this particular series, which is crazy. Took place where it was kind of a more modern time, like Persephone's, you know, typical modern girl, you know, and all of this stuff. And then Hades is like a club owner, if I remember right. And, you know, they connected. I don't know what it is. I just really was not into it. I don't feel like there really was any stakes in this, where I just feel like, oh, it's just like a love story, essentially. And great, love that. But sometimes I need to be in the mood for a love story. And I might not have been for this one, but I did finish it. But I do remember thinking, I will not continue this. Like, that was it for me. I don't know if that series gets better as, like, the books go on. But again, I don't want to be 4 books in by the time the series actually grabs me. That just sounds like a terrible time where it's like, yeah, if I just trudge through 3 more books, the series is really going to pop off. Really going to pop off. And the thought of that makes me want to die inside. Not to be dramatic. But also, if you see my poor posture, no, you didn't. All right, so the next one on my list is King of Battle and Blood by Scarlett St. Clair. So I guess I did read some more of her books. Oh no. So maybe this means it's more of a author base where I actually just don't vibe with the author. That would be terrible. Okay, so this one it looks like I've read the first 2 books in this series. I don't know how many books there are, but King of Battle and Blood, and then Queen of Myth and Monsters. Oh, this might have been one where it had a modern twist on it, and I'm really just not into stories that have like modernism, like more contemporary based. Like if they have an iPhone and they're you know, using X and all of this stuff. Like, I really just don't want to be dealing with that because I already live there. I already live here and I just want to be in a different world completely. So, yeah, love that for us. So, if you're looking to escape the real world and you found me, hi. Welcome. Let's run away together and talk about different stories that we did not love. Because we're going to be a little bit of a hater today. That was one that I just did not finish the series. Again, don't know how many there are. I have the first 2 books and it looks like I've read them both. They just really did not impact and like leave a mark where clearly I couldn't even find the quickest way to read the synopsis of the first one to tell you anything more than that. But that was one where I just really was not interested. Like it died out pretty quick, and it might have been one where I felt like the story kind of just got stagnant. Everything was like rinsed and repeated. That gets pretty old pretty fast. All right, next one in my list is Reign of Night by Sarah C. Rothel. It looks like I've read the first 2 books of this series as well, so I probably was giving it a chance, and maybe it was really good in the first one and then the second one just completely fell off. So it looks like it's a book of 4. It's 4 books in this series, The Study in Shadows. And from what I'm reading, it is basically a vampire story where it looks like it might be an enemies to lovers kind of. She is a vampire hunter and he's a vampire kind of situation. I honestly could not even tell you anything about this. So that is another one that's on my list. Couldn't really tell you much about it, to be honest, but I do remember feeling very it's okay. And that was one where I could have continued the series but didn't. So the next one on my list, number 6, I believe. This one, and please, you super fans, please don't come for me. Again, this is my opinion. These were my feelings, and I know I'm not the only one out there with these feelings, but I might be in the minority. A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. So that's book number 5, I believe, in the ACOTAR series. Now, like all the other girlies pretty much, I really got back into my reading and just like the joy of reading fantasy and stuff through the ACOTAR series. The first 3 books, I absolutely devoured them. Loved them, just ate it up. When I got to book number 4, I remember feeling like, okay, like we are starting to separate from the main characters and kind of going more into the side characters. And I just, sometimes if I really love the main characters, like I don't want to go farther into side characters. I don't really want to know their lore. Now that's not always the case, but for the most part, like I sometimes struggle when it's a really quick transition from the main characters, like their stories wrapped up, like you'll see them in the universe, you know, but it'll be like here and there. And I'm like, oh, I hate that. And I'm not one for like pregnancy tropes. I just really don't enjoy them. I remember feeling number 4 was like, okay, I really am not caring as much as I probably should. And then I got to Court of Silver Flames. And now, mind you, I didn't even read the premise of book number 5. So I was shocked when it was Nesta's story. I was absolutely shocked. Like I was thinking I'm like, oh, it's a thick boy. Like we're going to get some more drama and get in some more action and stuff too. No, I was shocked to find out it was Nesta. Like, I really just don't care about Nesta, to be honest. Like, and again, I have not reread these series at all. I haven't continued past book 5, and I have not read Throne of Glass and Crescent City series. Like, I kind of just, like, feel like I got really ACOTAR fatigued by this time. I was, like, book 4 was like, oh, I'm starting to feel this certain type of way. Book 5 absolutely put me in the ground. Like I could not. I slogged through it because I believe it's like almost 800 pages of just Nesta, and I feel like a lot of it was just like, okay, she's sad, you know. And I know, like, again, try not to like talk about the author's influence, but I do remember like reading somewhere where it was talking about how Sarah J. Maas's writing with Nesta and her story was actually kind of a reflection of her personal struggles. So I was like, I'm not knocking on that. Please do not get me wrong. I'm not knocking on mental health and all of this stuff, okay? It's important. Take care of your mental health. So I am just knocking on how lackluster this whole book was. I remember I'm like, okay, it's 800 pages. I'm slogging through it because, you know, she's trying to like walk up the stairs or down the stairs, I think. Something with the million steps. I do remember there's like a million steps. And like, it was just her learning how to just become a human again, essentially fighting like this mental battle. And then when Cassian gets involved, it's just like, oh, now they're just banging literally all the time. And again, like, I feel like we lose the plot sometimes and it just becomes very much about the spice. And I like to have the plot, you know, I'm here for the story and the world. And I know this is part of their world, but like sometimes when it's just like chapters on chapters on chapters of just the spice, I'm like, bro, I find myself sometimes just straight up skipping them. Yeah. So that one was just definitely when I finished that book, I was like, I cannot jump into or stay in Sarah J. Maas's universe. I need different flavors. I need different style of writing and everything. Just really a refresh. So again, ACOTAR was definitely the series that got me into this, but Nesta's Story, I just did not love. And if I do a reread, I'm probably going to skip it. Like I'll read the first 3 again, probably skip 4 and 5. Because I don't feel like there was anything super important and I could just get cliff notes of those. And maybe I'll then venture over into the other series in that universe that she has. Haven't gotten back to it. Will eventually. Who knows when. And I'm just kind of a mood reader, so I just pick my next, you know, I have a virtual TBR. I basically am just cherry picking the next one when I'm ready for that book. But yeah, it's just one of those where I'm like, I'm not going to do a book haul of like 50,000 books and bring them home. And I just don't got the rooms. So I have stuff on my current bookshelf that I've enjoyed and keep around. And I have like textbooks and stuff and like old vintage medical books, but I don't have a lot of room, so I have to choose wisely. And again, any books that I just don't feel like I will like ever, I will donate it to Little Library just around the community. It'll be someone else's story. It's not mine, and that's okay. It can be someone else's. All right, guys, I believe this is my last one, and if I forgot one, oops, my bad. I'm sure I'll do more of these. All right, so the last one, and if any of you guys have read this one, let me know your thoughts, because this was the one series that, again, when I was looking through my ebook library just to kind of see if there were any that I was like, oh, that's right, like getting some ideas for this video, I came across this one and I instantly just like, are you kidding me? I can't believe I completely blocked it out of my memory. Past Cast was like, this is terrible. Don't ever remember this ever again. We're going to just do amnesia for this whole series. Like, it was not worth your time. And to be honest, I still, seeing this, just unlocked that whole thing. And now I am literally just cringing thinking about this series again. So the one series that I feel like genuinely wasted my time, and I'm sorry if you love this series, like, love that for you, was not for me. And that's okay. We can have different opinions and still be friends, okay? It is the Fever series by Karen Marie Moning. And I'll have pictures up here. I have 9 books in her series, this one Fever series. And I believe, there's 11. I will tell you all that I can remember from this. It takes place in Dublin, Ireland. There's something about ancient magic or evil where it can basically, like a parallel universe type of situation, I think, where there's like portals that like crack open in Dublin and like ancient evil comes through. And main character, FMC, forgot her name, to be honest, she is tasked with trying to save Dublin. There's a bookshop keeper who I can't even remember his name, to be honest. Let's see if I can find it. Starts with a B. Oh, okay. So FMC, her name is Michaela, but she goes by Mac. That's right. And then she goes to Ireland. It looks like her sister is murdered, so she's trying to find secrets about, clues on what happened to her sister, because her sister was in Ireland, in Dublin. So that's where she went. There's an alpha fae who makes schmecks an addiction for human women. God, God, it doesn't have the bookkeeper's name. It's like Brooks or something. Oh, Barron's. Barron's, that's right. And I was so like about it. I remember in the first book, I was like, this is so good. Like, such a different vibe. Like, still with Faye and everything, but kind of a different vibe. And I love the like the bookshop, the broody bookshop keeper, Barron's. However, this whole thing was so short-lived because I remember I devoured like the first like 2 books and I was like, this is so good. And I think like after a few books, when the main like story I felt like wrapped up, and I was like, God, there's still more. Some of those books were different, like the friends' POVs and like their stories, like their side of everything going on, essentially. It started to feel like it was a joke because there just seems to be problems for problems' sake. It just felt like there was a lot of just random issues. Nothing really high stakes anymore, because I feel like after you just had the whole wrap up of the main storyline with the main bad boss or whatever, the final boss fight, like what is there left to do? And then all of a sudden there's like more of these like weird small problems that just weren't really anything, and so much so that the next few books were, you know, a couple books were just secondary characters' point of views. I remember like some of the books would just be, I think they were like fast reads, so they would be like 3, maybe 400 pages, and the whole middle sucked. And then it would end in like a cliffhanger, and I was just like, oh my God, maybe it's changing. Get the next book. Did the same thing, just random shit, doesn't even fucking matter. And then the cliffhanger, and it'd get me every time. And then eventually on book number 9, let's see where I'm at, I DNF'd it, because at this point I was like, you know what, I am done with it. Yeah, book 9, Fever Song, 51% through. And I remember seeing like there was more, you know, 11 books in the series. I thought it was like 14. Maybe it's like the same universe, but there's like different series. And I was just like, what the fuck else could there be going on? Like, we need to wrap this up, girl. Like, this is actually making me mad, and it just feels like it was wasting my time. And I came across this review, which I feel like perfectly describes how I felt about it. So this person was like, I will say one thing for KMM, she keeps me guessing. I think I've been so beaten down by cliffhangers and frustrating endings that when things seem to end happily, I feel unsatisfied. I'm a little concerned that I've suffered some irreparable trauma from the Fever series. I also have no clue how I actually feel about this book. It is definitely the start of a new set of books, but ... where do we go from here? Yeah, so she pretty much sums up my feelings about it in a better way. Because I do just feel like irreparable trauma, sure.
I hurt myself today.
Not in the way that I'm looking for, if you will. It was just in the, God, I feel like I'm hitting my head against the wall and living Groundhog Day kind of way, where I'm like, what the fuck else can there be? I'm down for a series that makes me feel strong feelings and just feels like absolutely wrecks me, because I feel like I was there with the main characters, and just like I feel so deeply with everything. Like I just feel like I lived it with them. Like I'm always down for series that just absolutely mess me up in that way, where I just feel like when I come back to the real world, everything is just gray and dull for a minute, and then it, you know, it's fine. Like I just feel like it's so sad to live a life without those characters or that story, and just one of those things where I'm like, if I had amnesia, I would reread that kind of thing, so I can experience it all fresh and new again. Always down for a book in a series like that, so if you know any, let me know. I'm always looking to add to my TBR. I have no set books in mind for the next read, but that one, irreparable trauma in the worst way, and just like, this is absolutely wasting my time. And I hate to say that because I know authors put a lot of time and effort into their stories, and it might not always turn out in the way that they hope, but like genuinely, that was just like, what the fuck, girl? Like, yeah, a new book comes out and it's sometimes you're like, this feels like a cash grab, and I just feel like this was a joke. So guys, if any of you love the Fever series, I am so sorry that I'm absolutely just like trashing it. Like that one tops all the ones that I had. If I had to put them in order, that would be number 1 worst one. on this list of things that I feel like I've forgotten or not an impactful story. Now, I guess that one does kind of impact me in a negative way, not the way I'm wanting. My current read is Vicious. I am trying V.E. Schwab for the first time. I've really enjoyed this. I have a little bit left, but I haven't been really into a reading feeling lately, so I kind of stopped with that one. I have like 100 pages left, so I just need to finish it. It's really enjoyable. It's just really like a fun twist, thing new, and it has neuroscience in it, which I'm like, oh my god, boy, same. I love neuroscience. Oh, same. We could be friends.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
So that's my current read. I don't know if I'll do a review on it. Who knows? Let me know if you're interested in that one. That's my first ever V.E. Schwab. I've been eyeing that one for a long time and I just decided to go for it. That is my 8 books or book series that I just regrettably just did not like for various reasons. No hates to the author, but just like, goddamn, that was a terrible book. I need to find a different one. Some of them were definitely overhyped, and I'm sure I'll do more because, you know, books are always endless and I just keep reading new stories and I love looking for new stories, and they may vibe with me, they may not, and that's okay. I love the part of the journey of figuring that out as we go. So thanks for hanging out with me today, and I can't wait to see you guys again in the next one. Take care. Love you. See you. Bye.